To my first pop culture news. If you looked at my title, I have changed the title a bit. I removed Alice Walker because I did some further research into what she had said, and I am just, although I'm beyond disappointed, I want to keep the pop culture news that I do. I want to keep it light. And Alice Walker, girl, that stuff was dark. That stuff was dark. So I'm going to leave it up to somebody else to talk about that. But as for me in this house, we're going to keep it light. We're going to keep it light. It's highly disappointing when our elders, who have been known for such great work, embarrass us. Maybe we need to take social media away from teenagers and the elderly. My God, today. Oh, I'm using my Pat McGrath collection. Her glitter gloss. I use a combination because I like the gold always to be in the center, and then I like the gold in the center, and I like the pink on the sides. The gold is like a little iridescent gold with like some pink, you know what I mean? It's like a little bit of gold and a little bit of pink. And this is the Dreamscape. And the pink that I use is Naked Rose. I love her products. She's worth the coin. She's worth the coin. How are we doing, Star Fam? Simply Simone said Mercury has really been in micro braids this week. It's a mess. It is a mess. El Boogie says, still lurking. Love yourself. Hey, sis, how are you? Al G,
Real 43 said, hey, Nikki, so excited for the tea. Alex said, hey, everyone, happy Friday. Let's get this weekend started with this live. I know that's right. Marlene said, round 2. I know that's right. Alicia said, hey. LV said, hey. Love Like You Are said, hey, everyone. Kayla said, am I going to need wine for this live? Probably. Hey, Nikki.Star fam. That's from our lovely Greta. Thank you all so much for joining me. And while you're coming on in the room, we're going to start with our little jingle. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, so much to talk about. Come on in the room. Sing it, Toy. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in? Come on! Basically, Nikki's church. Basically. Oh, I love her. Pat McGrath, Danessa Myrick's. I love Beauty Bakery. I love Minted. I have to get their bronzer because I ran out. I used it so much, as you can tell. Don't have it on, and I need it. And Fenty. Those are like my go-tos. Black Radiance too, but those are like my go-tos. Like I don't need to go to nowhere else. Nowhere else. Those ladies get me good. Shamiko said, night, all catching it live while still working. Oh my gosh. What's your time zone? What's your time zone? Thank you, Tracy. Tracy said, Star family, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, Nikki.Star at Home. Oh, I got some good stuff. I'm going to be showing you on Nikki.Star at Home. Nikki.Star at Home is just basically my lifestyle channel. I do vlogs over there, cooking over there. It's just Nikki after the lives. Hey, Nicole. Thank you for being here, Tracy. Tracy said, hey, Sister Star. To you, yes.
Oh, yes. Toya Star is here. Hi.
Coco said, perfect timing. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Star fam. Hey. NTR said, Nikki and the Star Family Choir. Hey, Star fam. So Seth said, I was disappointed by Beauty Bakery. Why? Did they do something? Please don't tell me, because I'm about to make a purchase. Oh God, what they do? What did Beauty Bakery do? I love them. I hope it's not controversy and just maybe that it didn't work for you. I don't use all of Beauty Bakery. I use her. Let me just get it. Talking about it. Let me just get it. Talk about it. Be about it. Come on in the room, girl. Girl. Look, I'm embarrassed by how much I have used this. This don't work for me. This right here is too light. She need to come with different options with that. But baby, everything else. Everything else, I hit pan. It's not a game. It's not a game. I love my Beauty Bakery. So Seth said, no, I just think their products aren't good. Oh, okay. I will say the foundation wasn't for me. I like Fenty's foundation. I haven't tried Minted foundation. I haven't tried Pat McGrath's foundation. I got a sample, but I wasn't like, wow. But it was when she first came out. So I'll try it again. But I stick with Fenty. Fenty or L'Oreal. So Seth said, Nikki, stay ready for a scandal. Listen. It's everybody. It's not me. Everybody need to get their life together, their house in order. Bree, what's up? Said, I just got here, y'all. Has the review started yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Love Like You Are said, oh, you. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, I'm like that, though. It could just be me being a Sag, but once something works for me, you got a customer for life. You got a customer for life. You know what? I have to go back. I have to get start using NARS again. Because when I first started wearing makeup, that was the girl that I would go to. But I stopped. And I don't know why. I like their products. I think Fenty came out and I was just like, let me just go over there. I just was supporting so many black-owned makeup brands that I forgot about the Caucasian one that I actually enjoyed. You know, everybody's talking about that foundation. The only thing about it is, I guess because of where I live, Juvia's place is just not that available to me. And because I haven't tried it, I don't like purchasing stuff from the site because I feel like if it doesn't work for me, I'm screwed. I like getting makeup from like an Ulta or Sephora because if it doesn't work, I know I can return it. Gently loved. So that's the only thing. And because of where I live, there's not a lot of brownies. So they don't carry that foundation color. I've never found a foundation color from Juvia that could match me. Maybe I just got to do that Inglewood trip. When I go to Inglewood, I like to make a day of it because my God, today, what a travel. What a travel. Jessie Lee said, Pat McGrath's foundation is everything to me. Only issue, it's light to medium coverage. See, that's the thing. I love that. I am not a foundation girl. If anything, I like concealer just right here and right here. Other than that, I'm good. I'm good. Pink Petals. Let me get it. Everybody come on in the room. It's a makeup line.
Oh my goodness.
It's a makeup line. Wait, is it L'Oreal? Oh, it's Maybelline. It's Maybelline. I'm sorry. Aren't they owned by the same people? But it's Maybelline. It's this. The Poreless. And I don't use a lot of it. I like it. And this is Mocha 360. I like this one. It's affordable. Child, I want to try that Dior though. Oh, that Dior foundation. You know what? Guys, let me know if you're interested in this because I was just going to do it on my TikTok and my Instagram. But Lady Gaga, I got they sent me a what they call it? They sent me her makeup, so I'm going to try it. Her foundation looks like it could do a little something, so I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try her. They sent me like a PR package or whatever. I did mention Fenty. Mind your business, but they sent me a PR package. I might try that.
Yeah,
you're my sister. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't do Hollywood. I don't do it's Hollywood and downtown LA. You'll never find me unless I'm getting paid. It's too apocalyptic down there. I'm a valley girl. I do the valley. I do the valley. NTR said, hey, Nikki, while we're here, what's the brand of pimple stars you use? Starface. I use Starface, and there's another one that you can get at Ulta. I forget what they're called, but they're more expensive. Starface is like $10 at Target. Oh, $14 now. $6.99 for the refill. But I use Starface, and the one that I really love is the Truly Scar Star Patches. I really love those. They're really, really good. Like you put it on and the pimple is gone. Starface does the same thing. It just takes a little bit longer, but it's like $10 cheaper. But Truly, the Truly Star Patches, I love them. TRULY. That's what I want to get. So Steph. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Pink Petal said, okay, LOL, we're similar in complexion. I may try it out. I love it. It works. It works. Oh, okay. So Steph said, House Labs is good, but a little dry to me. See, I have an oily T-zone, so that may work for me. That may work for me. Bria said, I just moved to LA 6 months ago. Any tips? By the way, the LA train has to be one of the, yeah. LA transportation is the worst. Unfortunately, this place will make you get a car. I moved here after living in New York City, and I had to get a car, and it was just a nightmare because after living in Philly and New York, where you do not need a car, to going to needing a car for absolutely everything, absolute nightmare. But I hate to tell you this, but you are going to need a car. I would say if you're going to start I would say go to Kia. That's where I got my first car. Kia has really affordable, good cars. I would say go to Kia. I would not recommend getting a used car in LA because any used car in LA has been through hell and back because you got to drive everywhere. But if you have to do it, do it. Just make sure you get a good deal on it. But I apologize for the public transportation. It's hell. It is hell, unless you're in Santa Monica. Any tips for living in LA? Do not drive. Do not, if you have to go anywhere in the rain, limit what you have to do because this place is just not built for rain. Everywhere will flood. Right now, I have stuff to do and I'm avoiding it. I'm avoiding it because it's raining. People don't know how to drive out here at all. So when you add the rain to it, it's a nightmare. I would also say, I don't know if you moved here with friends or if you didn't, but if you start to create a friend group, don't flake. Everybody in LA flakes. And when you start flaking in your relationships, it just becomes just such a pattern and you can't really form any real good, meaningful relationships here, especially friendships. And you're going to need them to get you through the journey that is LA because it's not an easy place to live. So you're going to need that strong community. So when you start building friendships, if you feel like this is a good investment, don't flake. Don't flake. It's so easy to do here. Don't do it. That's all I can give you. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to ask me anything like specific. I got you. I got you. Inglewood is where, we're all at, but it's just far. I love Inglewood, but it's far. If you want to live anywhere that you think is like that I would recommend that's like safe and affordable, I would say Burbank is a nice area, but you're going to have to pay a bit more in taxes because they're super clean, but it's a really nice, safe area. Glendale is a very good area. I would stay away from downtown LA and Hollywood. If you have to live there, only go out in the daytime. Sherman Oaks is pretty affordable. I first moved there to Sherman Oaks. That was a really, really good area. Los Feliz is an up and coming area. Not as affordable because a lot of artists who got coin live there, but it's nice. But it does give Hollywood vibes if you turn a certain block. That's pretty much it. But hit me up on Instagram. I would love to help you in any way that I can. Love Like You Are said, "Oh, I've heard good things about Gaga's foundation." Oh, great. Because it's just been sitting there because I'm like, what do you know about makeup? But I'll try it. Like people have been saying it's the foundation of oh baby. Then I'm gonna try it. Okay. I'll do a review on my other channel about that makeup. Jessie Lee said, "I don't blame you." Ooh, child, the ghetto. Yeah, it's scary. Downtown, it's scary. If you're from Philly or like the tri-state area, downtown LA is like a bigger Kensington. People will lie to you and say it's up and coming. That place has been up and coming for 30 damn years. It's not up yet. It's not up yet. Go to the fashion district and get the hell out. You're welcome, NTR. Tracy said, "I got a sample of House Lab foundation. It was really nice." Okay. I'm going to have to try that. So Steph said they got a street here in Seattle they call, ciao. Yeah, very Last of Us. Downtown LA is very Last of Us. But they do have nice places. There's a Jamaican spot that I want to go to down there. I just got to build myself up to do it. There's a lot of nice restaurants and like there's a lot of nice things down there. But it's just like you got to deal with a lot. If you are going to go to downtown LA, I say Uber. Do not try to park anywhere. It's going to be extra. It's going to be hella expensive. And you probably will get stabbed walking to your car anyway. So just take an Uber. Do not take the train. Jazzy Go said, "My favorite foundation is Bobbi Brown, Born Weightless." Okay. I liked her eyeshadow. Simply Simone said, downtown LA scares me, especially the train. Don't get on that train. Don't get on that train. Yes. Check out Hyundai in North Hollywood in the daytime. You're welcome, Bria. You are welcome. Just bigger. It's like Kensington is Disneyland. Downtown LA is Disney World. Yep. Yep. Stay woke. Anyway, let's get into it. We're first going to start off with Porscha and Tamron Hall. And the reason why we're going to start off with Tamron Hall is because I have a totally different perspective than what you might think because of my last video about Tamron Hall and Porscha. So let's get into it. So Porscha was on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's a Temple alum. We will walk lightly with Tamron. So Tamron Hall is just been in a lot of controversy because Larsa said that she did not like how she treated her when she was on her show. I happen to agree. Here is why I agreed with Larsa in that moment. It's because the show's theme was finding love in unexpected places. And for me as a viewer, I felt like Tamron asked Larsa a lot of questions about the Real Housewives of Miami and also her relationship. But I felt like the questions were coming from a place of concern for Junior and not the fact that this show was about finding love. It would seem like it was a positive show about finding love in unexpected places, but it appeared as if Tamron didn't have a positive outlook on the relationship that Larsa is currently having with Jordan Jr. I thought that maybe Tamron was friends of the family and, knew the truth of them not being okay with this relationship. I will also say that Larsa was very coy about her relationship, but I'm just like, if the theme of the show is finding love in unexpected places, how do you not expect to talk about the one thing that has you on the show in the first place? That's where I was at with it, right? So Porscha is co-hosting on The Breakfast Club because Angela Yee left the show. So they've been having guest female co-hosts to fill her spot. So Porscha was guest co-hosting and she was speaking on, the words that Larsa spoke about Tamron, and she was saying that she agreed with her. And this is what Porscha said. Hold on. I want to make sure I got the right video.
Tamron show, and I was so excited. Okay, I mean, she's a beautiful black woman. She's, branched off, got her own show.
Absolutely.
I did not necessarily feel supported on her show.
Really?
Did I expect her to agree with everything? I was promoting my book, The Pursuit of Porscha. I didn't expect her to agree with everything. But there was a turn where it turned from just her asking questions about the book to her kind of almost attacking me, almost making me feel like I had to justify anything that I had going on, and it just didn't feel good.
Right. Did you feel that way too with me?
Did you feel?
Yeah. Me and my wife went on there, and it was a situation. If you picked up my book, I talk about my life and how I was, and the reason we wrote this book is to try to help other brothers and help other couples.
Right.
And I talk about how insecure I was as a young person. Me and my wife been together since 15 and 16, and how I was, and how I treated her, and how I changed how I didn't know. And I think there was an incident that happened with her sister, and she was like, well, my sister was this and my sister was that. And it got to the point where I couldn't come back to that. But thank God my wife was there, and my wife was like, no, what happened with your sister and our relationship is totally different.
Right.
My husband has never threatened me with a gun or tried to kill me or any of those things. I can't remember, but of course they took that out. But I felt that too. But I will say this. Shout to Thea Mitchum, who is our boss, who is a black woman. Yesterday, she got me and Angela on the phone, and we got a chance to have that conversation. And I'm glad we did. And hopefully they could, she'll say, what she wants and clear it up a little bit, because there's a lot of women that feel funny that work up here because they feel like, they were looked over.
Right.
So, and she said, yes, she agrees. So she's going to talk about that today on her show.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've always felt undervalued here as a woman.
Are we now changing your identity?
Yes.
Oh.
So now you identify as
So Porscha was just basically saying that she was on her show and she, felt mistreated as well. And the only reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I think a lot of people are confusing journalists with like bloggers and shock jocks, right? I think because a lot of bloggers and shock jocks are getting TV opportunities and things of that nature, that and just getting some kind of notoriety because people are tuning in for the mess. I think that they are confusing or thinking that they are the same as journalists, right? there's a reason why Tamron Hall has her own show on ABC, right? There's a reason why she was a news anchor for many years on CNN. There's a reason why she continued to, before she got her own show on ABC, but she continued to get more TV show journalistic opportunities because she's a journalist. Like, this is her job, right? This is her career. This is her education. She has over 30 years of experience in educational training in being a journalist. So,
she has a degree from Temple.
And she has a degree from Temple.
Telecommunications and mass media. So
Yeah. Okay. Temple alum in the building.
my same school.
Yes, we know. We know. So I think a lot of these reality TV show stars are expecting to be interviewed the same way as they would be interviewed by a blogger. And I am not in any way putting down bloggers or people who do red carpets. I was someone who used to do red carpet and celebrity interviews with no journalism degree. So I would not call myself a journalist. I was just somebody who was just good at doing the interviews, and I was asked to do them because, I'm talented and I'm interesting, but I'm not a journalist, right? So the way that I would interview someone is completely different than the way a journalist would interview them, right? So I feel like a lot of these reality TV people, because the reality TV show networks are basically built off of the blogs, right? The blogs are the ones keeping these shows alive, and we have to be honest. The blogs, the fan base, the fan pages, they are the ones that's keeping the show alive. So when you take an interview with someone who is running a celebrity fan page, or someone who does reviews of these shows on YouTube, or somebody who has a really good blog, messy, but it's a good blog that a lot of people go to, right? You're going to get interviewed differently. You're going to get interviewed by essentially a fan. You're going to get interviewed by somebody who is interviewing you, not for information, but for entertainment. So somebody is going to ask you about stealing Fallon's man in that way, right? So you stole somebody's husband, allegedly. Girl, you want to talk about that? Tamron Hall is not going to say it the same way. She's going to say it a different way, which will lead into 3 or 4 different questions because she has to fill 30 minutes with you. She's not going to be struggling for questions. She already has everything lined up and has prepped these questions because she is trying to build a story for her viewing audience. And the story is, I'm getting this information that you guys are all requesting. So question 1 is attached to question 2. It's also attached to question 8, but I want to get through all of these to make it clear. So by the time that we get to question 8, that question 10 is the closer. That's what a journalist is, right? It ain't me, right? If I had Porscha on here right now, I'd be asking her about her extensions. I've been hanging around a lot of white people. Why did I say extensions and not weave? You know what I mean? So that's like what it would, and I'm not putting down anyone who isn't a journalist. I'm just saying, I think a lot of reality TV people who are not used to being interviewed by journalists have a totally different experience with Tamron Hall because that's what she does. Like Dr. Wendy, I think because she's a commentator and has been in spaces with actual journalists, she would have a completely different experience with Tamron, and probably if she has been interviewed by her, probably has a completely different understanding and perspective of what the interview was and actually came out to be. So I think in this instance, I have to be Team Tamron because I think that Porscha and Larsa was expecting to be interviewed by a blogger and not a journalist. So you have to understand the difference when you get into the presence of certain people. So that is why you need to know who you're going into a room with. That's why, unfortunately, I feel like your teams failed you because they did not brief you and prepare you for what you were going to go into. That's why you need to hire professionals and not just fans and really good friends. You need to hire people who actually work in the industry that you want to excel in so that you know what to do and that you know what you're walking into. You both were not properly prepared for the interview because you did not expect this outcome when you should have. Like, did you not do your research with this woman? Like, just watching her on CNN alone, I would know what to expect. I would be ready. I would be ready. And I would always be linking every answer back to the reason why I'm on that show. If it's me plugging a movie, a TV show, a hairline, whatever it is that I'm doing, every answer will lead back to the reason why I want these millions of people to see me at this moment, because I'm hawking something to, to these people that are watching. So you need to be prepared, and you need to know what you're walking into. I think Porscha didn't know what she was walking into. And I think she misinterpreted, her and Larsa misinterpreted what the environment was going to be. Like, no shade, Funky Dineva is not going to interview like Tamron Hall. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Two totally different platforms, genres, and careers, girls. Like, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. And this is not holding any weight, but I think it's absolutely hilarious that this happened not even a day after. Well, I think maybe the same show where she talked about Tamron Hall not being a journalist. Let's bring
did
this
not
up.
want to let go. And it was a sexual relationship. She said Sydney had one thing he had to teach me, and that was this word right here is killing me. What's this?
Reciprocation?
Reciprocity.
Let me see, Porscha.
It's a bit. It's
Reciprocity?
Reciprocity. No, no.
That ain't it.
Look at it. Come look at it. Come look. What did?
Goodness gracious.
What did it right now?
Reposado.
Not representation.
Reciprocity.
That's all right. We're going to let that go. But basically, if you can do it, I can do it. All right. But we're going to keep on with the quote.
And the definition was wrong too. I can't believe that Porscha, being a millennial, does not did Lauryn Hill, hold on, let me bring it up. Did Lauryn Hill not teach you what this word was and how to pronounce it? To gain some reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me. Come on. And no one ever will. Like, none of us knew what that word, I'm going to be honest with you. None of us knew what reciprocity was before Lauryn Hill. Because we always like, what are we singing? And everybody Googled it. If you don't know what reciprocity is or means, reciprocity is a word that means the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit, especially privileges granted by one country or an organization to another, or a person to her son. Reciprocity. Tamron Hall knows what that is and how to pronounce it. Listen, Tamron Hall said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, because ain't nobody talking about the Larsa interview anymore, or how Porscha felt slighted, or DJ Envy felt slighted. Everybody's talking about the fact that she don't know what reciprocity is, or how to spell it, or how to pronounce it. None of them, to be quite honest with you, none of them did. But they all had something to say about Tamron. And I'm just like, I think that DJ Envy was expecting Tamron Hall to interview him and his wife the way he interviews people. But you're not a journalist, so she's not like, it's just because you are somehow ending up in the same place, maybe at the same award show, does not mean that you do the same thing. This was such a self-own to everybody involved except for Tamron. Y'all got everybody back who was just like, you know what, Tamron, you were a little too rough on Larsa to be like, you know what, girl, you were right. I have fully changed my perspectives, because what these reality stars are not going to do is try to take that woman down. Not the reality stars and them messy shock jocks. Absolutely not. Team Tamron. What do you guys think before we move on to the next subject? Let me get some input from the Star family. Sierra said, people just look for reasons to attack others because they find it entertaining. Period. Love Like Your Art said, we are also in an era where journalists are also being arrested and attacked on Twitter for what they ask. I'm always going to be on the journalist side. Absolutely. Omi said, attacking others. If Porscha didn't want to be interviewed by an actual journalist, she shouldn't have come on. Yeah, but I don't think she was properly prepared. I do not think that her team prepped her for what she was entering into.
Yeah, because that team.
And I also, mind your business. And I also think that because places like Fox News have been, networks like Fox News have been legitimized because of the amount of viewers that they have and the amount of advertisers that, pay for commercials during their episodes of their, TV segments or whatever. They have been legitimized as being journalists. But if you go to Fox News, it lets you know it. Can you open the door for mommy, please? What is she doing? It's absolutely my mom. It absolutely is my mom. It can't be anybody else. Like, girl. Girl. This is a new live. Anyway, I just think that because they have been legitimized, people think that they're journalists, but they're not. Fox News is an opinion news network. So it's basically, them doing reviews of situations, but not really being accurate because they're not a news organization. It's people's opinion. It's basically a filmed podcast. That's what Fox News is. And that's why a lot of the people who work there cannot call themselves journalists because it's an opinion network. It's not actual news. So I think because of networks like that and, the Tucker Carlsons of the world, you have just every and anybody thinking that they can hold weight with people who are, trained and, for lack of better terms, I know this has to do with law, but essentially barred in this area. You think that you can go toe to toe with them when you really cannot. Momi said, because there's so much overlapping with news and gossip, celebs think that it's all the time. They don't understand the value of preparation and true public relations. That's how they get caught up. You're right. You are right. Tracy said, that's like someone going on Wendy Williams and being upset she's being messy. You should know who you're interviewing with. You are absolutely right. Missy said, when I see reciprocity, I instantly think of Lauryn Hill. It helps me remember how to pronounce it. Same. That's why I had to sing it first. Emma says, reciprocity means you scratch my equals, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You are right. Coco T said, it bothers me that Porscha acts as if she isn't as a messy woman who lives for drama. She stays in mess, but dares people not to ask about it. But this is the thing. But dares people to ask about it. But this is the thing. I think because it was Tamron Hall, she just was not expecting her to, ask the questions that I guess she expected a blogger to ask, because I think she didn't know that this was a legitimized show and she was going on there and she thought that she would just be able to promote her business while not talking about why people are talking about you. Like, that just doesn't happen. Then Sierra says, I venture to say Oprah is similar to Tamron and that she didn't always treat her guests with respect when they came on the show. Reminds me of when she asked what Mary Kate and Ashley Wade. But the thing about it is Oprah is not Tamron. So we can't make that comparison because they're just not the same people. And they both are doing a similar job in different times. Michelle said, I find it strange because Envy and the bald one are mean, rude to people on their show. They're shock jocks, usually darker women, but Tamron having journalistic integrity is an issue. Very true. Emma said, I watched. I think Porscha has some residual guilt about how she got Simon. Probably. Drewski said, a little late, but hey, fam, Porscha coming for anyone on their intelligence or their journalistic credentials is laughable, to say the least. Donna D said, I wonder how much was cut out of Porscha's interview. Envy said he didn't feel good about his interview either, but a lot of what he didn't like didn't air. I wonder how much of Porscha's didn't air. I'm not sure, but I will say I didn't like what Envy said that his wife said about Tamron Hall's sister. I know that she said that Tamron Hall compared, but it was cut out, so we will never know. But I don't think that Tamron was saying it in a way that would make Envy out to be anything than what he has already portrayed himself to be. And I just didn't like that comment. It was like a snide comment to the murder of her sister, and it just, to me, it just seemed in real poor taste, because if you're defending yourself after coming on the show where you are taking salacious excerpts from your book that is trending, to ask her to not speak about that is ridiculous. You were the one who let us know that in this book, you talk about how you were, emotionally abusive to your wife, how you cheated on her with all these people, and just not a good partner. So to expect her to not talk about it, it's just ridiculous. Like, they want to come on these shows and just have a free commercial and not have anything in their lives talked about, or why we're talking about them in the first place. It's not fair. Now, the bloggers may do that because you legitimize what they do. But somebody who has an actual TV show on A, B, freaking C does not need you and will not play to what you're used to, right? What you're used to, the shock jocks and the bloggers and the vloggers, YouTubers or whatever, bending to your will because they need your presence to, legitimize them and make whatever they're doing pop. But Tamron doesn't need that. So because she's coming to you as an actual journalist and as somebody who is actually helping you and giving you an advertisement, you now realize that the hands of power have changed and you don't like it, because you're probably used to only answering the questions that you want to ask and probably treating the interviewer like garbage because you realize that you're helping them in a sense and they're not helping you. But when the tables are turned, you don't know how to deal with it. Kay Pratt, thank you so much for the super chat. Kay Pratt said, Porscha is that celeb you could only like if you never watch their interviews or go to their social media. She only works in very produced environments. Jazzy Go, thank you, Kay Pratt, for the super chat. Jazzy Go said, Porscha expected to have Tamron to be enamored by her. Yep. Mm-hmm. And was surprised she couldn't lie and smile out of it. Absolutely. She held her accountable. Kathy said, Porscha is 41 years old. Enough with people calling her. And we'll end right there. And we'll move on to our next subject, which is Miss Debra Lee. So recently, Debra.
So glad you're talking about that, because baby, I can't wait to buy that book, and I almost passed out.
So recently, Debra Lee went on Good Morning America, and she was talking about her new book, and she was speaking about no, we are not going to do that to Miss Lee.
I know, we respect her so much. I think that's why we were so wild. But when have you ever respected a side chick?
Okay,
because she came forth with the tea.
She sure did, and let me give it. She went on Good Morning America and sat down with Robin Roberts, and this is what she said. Former BET chief executive Debra Lee is getting candid about her tenure at the cable network in her new memoir, I Am Debra Lee, and this is from the Los Angeles Times. She shared advice for women who want to succeed in corporate America, details about her extramarital affair with BET co-founder Bob Johnson, and how she stood up to the likes of Aretha Franklin and Oprah Winfrey during her tenure at the company. She said, I wanted to give advice to those coming behind me because that's always been a part of who I am. Lee told ABC host Robin Roberts Tuesday on Good Morning America. I was a counselor in college and in law school. I did hiring at a law firm, built a great team at BET. I always thought I was pretty normal. I wasn't the smartest kid in the class, and I just wanted young people to know if I can do it, they can do it too, and they should dream big. The 68-year-old, oh, she looks great. The 68-year-old executive began her career with the network as its first vice president and general counsel in 1986 and was promoted to president and chief of operating officer 10 years later. She was named chairman of CEO in 2005 and stepped down in 2018 after a 13-year tenure during which she shepherded the launch of Black entertainment network hit shows like Being Mary Jane, The Real Husbands of Hollywood, and In Contempt. Debra said, I stepped down for BET about 3 years ago. I was supposed to retire, but that never works for those of us who are used to working so hard. And I always wanted to write a book. In Lee's memoir, published Tuesday by Grand Central Publishing and Print Legacy, literature. It billed as an intimate, eye-opening tale about the triumphant and tricky moments of a career in entertainment. Lee told Roberts that when she shut down, she realized there's still very few Black female CEOs. It's not anything I dreamt of, but now that I've done it, I've loved it, and people come up to me and thank me for doing it. And I wanted them to know it's possible, she said. She said that she wants to help women succeed in the workplace with her book, also opening up about the potential pitfalls and how her personal and professional relationship with her boss affected her career. Recounting a passage from the memoir, Lee told Roberts on Tuesday how she worked for Johnson for 10 years before they began a personal romance. He was a mentor and he pushed me. He was responsible for a lot of my success, Lee said. We did have a relationship while we were both married. We ended up both divorced, and then people knew about the relationship. The company knew. We started going places together. The downfall of a relationship like that is that if you want to get out of it, it came and I wanted to break up. I saw it wasn't a long-term relationship, and my job and my career was held over my head. She shared how at the point she was 20 years into her career at a BET and was told that if she wanted to break up with Johnson, she should leave the company the next day. So I would have lost everything. I would have lost my career, my job, my ability to get another job if I couldn't get a reference. By that time, I was a single mother with 2 children. So it was a tough time, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it because I didn't have female role models. There weren't a lot of women ahead of me. I was embarrassed to talk with my family about it, so it was a dark time. The former TV executive said, therapy saved me. Johnson eventually left BET in 2006, and Lee became the chief executive, clearing a new path on her own terms. I was able to live my dream without any form of harassment. So I guess after Me Too and Time's Up, I wanted women to know there's other kinds of harassment. It's not all a man coming to the door in a robe. That's not the kind of relationship I had. It was one that grew into a relationship. At times, it felt consensual, because we were out in public. But after Me Too and Time's Up came back, I sort of reevaluated the whole thing and asked, was this really my choice? Oof. Elsewhere in the book, Lee opened up about the death of her son, who became depressed during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it details her interactions with some of the entertainment industry's other high-powered women, including Franklin and Winfrey. Lee said that she declined Franklin's outlandish request at a benefit concert and wouldn't let Winfrey advertise her competing network own on BET. Lee emphasizes that she wanted to be an example. People see me come out on the stage once a year at the BET Awards, and I didn't like doing that. I also talk in the book about how I'm an introvert and pretty shy. That's why it was always a struggle for me. But I came out during the ceremony so that our audience knew that a Black woman ran the network, and that was making a huge statement. She said a lot, didn't she? I might get this book. I'm like, no, you wasn't cheating and beefing with Oprah. Listen, we just had a conversation in my last live about the side chick, right? And I will say, if Miss Johnson, would have choked Miss Lee and put her in the headlock, she would have had to allow it, right? I will say this, though. I'm glad that she followed up with, after speaking about her affair with Bob Johnson, I will say I'm glad that she followed up and said, after Me Too and Time's Up, and she was on these boards and going to these events, she reevaluated, was this really a relationship that she wanted to get into? Was it really a consensual relationship? Because a lot of women do have this epiphany sometimes, whether they were in a relationship or came out of a relationship and was just like, you know what? Was that something that I really wanted to do, or I felt like I needed to do it to get ahead? And this happens to a lot of women who have succeeded to powerful positions. And the older I got and the more that I worked in this industry, I realized that a lot of women who are shamed for, sleeping with, powerful men or getting with powerful men to attain a certain wealth, they're not really different from the women that we see who we believe are independently powerful, because we don't know what was done behind the scenes to get them to that position, especially when literally everywhere is a boys' town. Because although I was shocked to hear this about her, that she had this affair and that's how she was able to ascend at BET, I wasn't shocked, because I think that this is the path that a lot of powerful women in entertainment and politics and any career has taken. It's just only frowned upon when a certain kind of woman does it. You know what I mean? But I think that this is a path that a lot of women take to power. Not all, right? There are just some women who get lucky, who work hard, but also get lucky. And then there are a lot of other women who make decisions sexually that help them get a leg up that they normally would not have had it not been for the male partner that they were having sexual relations with. I mean, it happens like still today. Like, there are directors, there are women controlling writers' rooms, and everybody's just like, oh, you know, she's such a great writer, but it's just like, she was banging him. Like, that's how she got this position. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked. And I honestly wish that more women would just talk about that and talk about the truth of that situation, so that there won't be so many other women killing themselves trying to take this path that this person is, you know, going to all these conferences and speaking about how they stayed up really late, but then they woke up at 5 a.m. and then they studied at this school and studied at this school. You can do all of that and still not be able to get to that point that you're at now. Because even with all of these things that you had, you still had to sleep with somebody to get that position, right? You still had to sleep with a powerful man to get that position. And then when you were ready to get out of it, you could not make your exit. I just wish more women were open about that. I'm glad that she spoke about it. I think that, you know, she does talk about, and even in the interview with Robin Roberts, she was not saying that what she did was okay, right? But she was also talking about how she was not sure if this was her decision. And she was very aware that if she did not make that choice, unfortunately, she would not be where she is today. So what do you think, Star Fam? Kayla M said, all Porscha did on Dish Nation was gossip. But did she call herself a journalist on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9 reunion? Porscha, please don't be mad when you get the other side. Listen, she did call herself a journalist. I got to give her that, Porscha. You did say that you were a journalist. Drewski said, wait, so Debra Lee is the original. Like, it all makes sense now, because I remember it was such like a big deal back in the day, and people were alluding that that character was based off of her. And I'm like, now it all makes sense. Pauletta on Being Mary Jane. That's what everybody was saying back in the day, though. And I was like, not Miss Lee. Child, it was Miss Lee. Jessie Lee said, my old boss worked at BET during this time. She was like, girl, everybody knew. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm getting that book. I cannot believe it. Because, listen, the tea is hot. Donna D said, I wish she had said something like, I was wrong for cheating with a married man, but my husband cheated on me, so I didn't mind going outside of my marriage. I think any way you slice it, she could say it a million ways. It still would just be wrong. She does. She looks great. She was great. NTR says she probably didn't have female friends either, being a side chick. Very true. Very, very true. And it's also that industry is very catty. Not a lot of girlfriends. Simply Simone said, ma'am, you were in your 40s. I will say she was old enough and very well aware. But your age, especially as a woman, you are still susceptible to being in a situation where you feel intimidated, no matter how young or old you are, where you feel intimidated to perform certain acts to please a more powerful man and stay in your position. I think, unfortunately for her, she just made the wrong decision. But it was the right decision for her career, right? There are some women who make that decision and some women who don't. But the reality of it is the women who make the wrong decision soar. Even though it's a miserable soar, they still are able to get in that room because that is a door opener. Opening your legs as a woman opens up doors for you in places that are male dominated, unfortunately. Emma says her appearance is words. Listen, I'm not Porscha. I have a stutter, so words like this are difficult for me. Her appearance is ostensibly the preference, but she still had a rich Black experience with sexist, chauvinist men and competitive women. Very true. Star family, Tracy said, Star family, please like the video. It helps the channel grow. We are looking to get to 2 million by the end of the year. It's early. We can do it. We sure can. Sierra said, Debra Lee banned Sierra's ride video, so I don't know what she was acting like she was pro-woman all of a sudden. Girl, be going. Well, like she did say in the interview, she was saying that the Me Too movement and Time's Up opened up her eyes. So she was probably like a lot of these women who get into the boys club, boys will be boys. This is how things has been done the whole time. Why try to shake it up, right? So she was probably going along to get along, not excusing any of her, anything that she's done. She is absolutely responsible for the actions and the choices that she made. But she did say that Time's Up and the Me Too movement had her reevaluate a lot of things. So I wouldn't be surprised if she went on an apology tour. You know what I mean? And apologize to probably a lot of women for just not being the support that they needed at that time. But when you attain things in a certain kind of way, you don't really have that wisdom or that wherewithal to make the proper decisions because you didn't get it in a way that you can respect. Momi said, Harvey Weinstein was a good example of how so many actresses in Hollywood had to play the game in order to get the huge opportunities that they did. This happens in every industry. Yep. Every industry. Lisa said, hi again. I'm at work, so I can't listen, but these comments get me excited for the replay. I know that's right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for being here. NTR said, nah, Nikki, what we're not going to do is besmirch other powerful women because a side chick route to power. No, you disempower all women. NTR, I love you, but did you hear when I said some women? I did not say that was all women. I said some. And some women do make that decision and some women do soar. Hollywood is a clear example. Hollywood is a clear example. It's not the route for all, but it is for some. It is for some. It's just not talked about when it's a certain kind of woman. Some people said Sarah Lee been doing this semi-homemade was awful. She can't. What are we talking about with Sarah Lee? I love Sarah Lee. I love that show. Tracy said, shout out to the Nikki.Star replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Donna D said, I wonder what Bob Johnson thinks about the Debra Lee book. He can't fire her now. Listen, is he going to do a response? JG said the issue with Tamron was she was talking down to Porscha as well as others and looking for a gotcha moment. I'm not necessarily sure that I agree with that, but I respect your opinion. Miss Brown Sugar said, very late jumping in, y'all. Who are we talking about? Miss Debra Lee. But we are going to move on because we got a couple of other people to get into. Let's quickly talk about this moment with Mr. Law Roach. So Law Roach was at the Louis Vuitton runway show with Zendaya, and there's this moment that went viral because he was walking with Zendaya to a seat on the front row. They had obviously filled up the front row and he was not able to get a seat, and Zendaya turned around and said, well, there's a seat behind me, and Law said absolutely not, and it is reported that he left the show. Here is the video. This is from Pop Bass. everybody, or the consensus was that Law Roach should have just stayed at the show and sat in the second row and not made the moment about him because he was there with his client, Zendaya. I happen to disagree. Zendaya is she is a talent, right? She is an extremely talented actress, singer, dancer. She is a triple threat. Mother can do it. But a lot of people did not start paying attention to Zendaya until Law Roach came in the game and really upped her fashion sense and really made her the runway it girl that she is today. No shade, but before Law Roach, Zendaya was wearing what is the shoes that Run DMC's daughter made? Them popsicle sneakers. You know what I mean? I will say, no offense, she was giving suburban stud for a very, very long time. Law Roach really came in, really fought with designers who did not want to dress the Disney kid that nobody really knew at that time because she had not yet crossed over to making the big films that she's making now, and was really doing his darndest to really get her the best pieces that would probably go to a Jennifer Lawrence, right? He was doing his due diligence as a stylist to get those garments on her. So I'm not saying that she cannot stand on her own, but I'm saying when it comes to fashion, there is no Zendaya without Law Roach. So to not have a space for him to sit next to his work is absolutely ridiculous when he has her draped in the best that Louis Vuitton can offer. I just felt like it was completely disrespect. And I absolutely agree with him leaving. Like, it was completely disrespectful, and everybody's just trying to make him out to be a baby and having a hissy fit and making the moment about him. Well, it is about him because I think that it's a disrespect. Law Roach does not sit on the second row, not with the work that he's been putting in, not with the work that he's done. Absolutely not. He's here with his work, and you're making him sit in the second row like he is not a name in his own right. I'm glad that he did that because it was disrespectful, and it was actually on the person who was doing the seating for this runway show. Because if you don't have Law Roach sitting next to Zendaya, then what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Then you're not doing your research. They're absolutely not doing your research. So I'm on his side with this. I don't think that he was being a baby. I don't think that he was making a big deal. I think that he was disrespected and he left because of that. I do not think that Zendaya was slighting him in any way, was saying there's a seat behind me. I just think she was just trying to help fix it. She was just trying to help fix it and not have it show that anything is wrong on her face. But I'm Team Law on this one because I think that it was a disrespect and he should have left. He should have left, or they should have made space for him, because this is the thing, right? And this is what I don't understand with Hollywood. And I think that some people get it, but not a majority of people get it. You have these actors, right? These movie stars, these TV stars, whoever, the it girls of the moment. You have them sitting front row, but you do not have the person responsible for that look next to them. I do not get it. I do not get it. That actor was wearing Aeropostale before they linked up with that designer. That is their work. You need to have the same amount of respect that you're going to give to this actor, to the designer who are making you pay attention to this actor in the first place. Like, you're not watching their show on Netflix or Amazon Prime. But if they're eating up the runway, you as the designer, you're going to start to pay attention because people are paying attention to what they are wearing on the runway, on red carpets, and how they are looking in those garments. So who was doing that to them? Who was making them look this way? Their stylists that they're working with. Give that stylist the same respect, and I promise you, they will pay it forward and you will get it back 100-fold, because what they will do is make sure that their starlet or whoever they're working with that's hot in the moment will stay in your garments, and you will continue to sell out your brand. Like, what are we missing here? What are we missing? I'm on Law Roach's side for this one. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Social Stuff said, here at the company Microsoft, the creator of our VR and technical fellows was fired for harassment. He made his employees watch soft porn. And, oh, what? Oh my goodness. Emma S said, I just watched Bombshell yesterday. Similar issues for Becky too. Like, it's true. It's not the same for all women. Well, NTR, if you heard the some, why are you trying to drag me then? If you heard me say some and not all. What's going on? What's the breakup in communication here? Vaca said, wait, why was Debra Vaca, where have you been? Roro said, I believe the relationship was a mutual exchange. It sounds like the relationship was developed over time and the power was only imbalance. I will agree with you on that, Roro. I think it was a mutual exchange. And then I think when the ultimatum happened where she wanted to move on, then she lost everything. If she stayed, then she will lose everything if she stayed in that relationship. And I do believe that happened. I do believe that happened. But I also do believe that she started to reevaluate things and be like, you know what? I probably didn't really like that guy. I was attracted to his power and how that power could help me. And that's not okay. But I haven't read the book. I don't even know if it's out yet. But I would hope for her sake that she is a bit more remorseful about, just being a willing party in deceiving both partners involved in this in that affair, because it's Miss Lee, it's just not a good look that you were just like very nonchalant. I gotta be honest, it just was not a good look. Absolutely. Pink Petal says, I don't blame him. I would have left too. How the hell do you not know who I am? I'm the reason why you're looking at Zendaya right now. If we gotta be real, she's a great actress, but we have to be real. We were not looking at her for her fashions before he came into play and started going hard for her when she became of age. Celine Dion as well. Like, come on, give him his flowers. Joe, hey Joe, said, I work with Tamron as an assistant and she was so nice to us. You can usually tell how people are by how they treat their assistants. So Tamron is good in my book. Absolutely. I know people who work with her. Like my sister has met her several times. They're both Temple alum. They have a very cute but surface relationship. And there's, I've never heard anything negative about her. I've only heard negative things said about her from like reality TV stars. Nobody else. Sierra said, it sucks how you really have to play the game to gain conventional success. That's why I left the industry, honey. It's true. It really, really is true. It's Latasha said, he's the style, but she's the star. So not shocked there wasn't room for him. Too bad though. But in concerning when we're dealing with fashion, he's a star as well, right? He's a star. Like you're literally telling him that he can't sit by his work. And normally that's how it goes. The star is always sitting by the stylist, especially when the stylist has made a name for themselves as well. He's not Zendaya's stylist. He's not Celine Dion's stylist. He's Law freaking Roach. Like he has a name. K Pret said, I mean, it would be embarrassing to walk in with someone and then have to sit behind him. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's probably responsible for Zendaya being there anyway, sitting front row at this show, right? Because, when they have the runway show, every designer sends out invites, right? Law is very instrumental in what shows Zendaya goes to because he's styling her. He accepted the invite. You know what I mean? And then you're going to tell him you got to sit in the back. What the hell? Excuse me. JG said, Law being disrespected like that is sick. Best stylist in the game right now. He didn't have a front row seat. Very true. Pastry. She was wearing them pastries. She was wearing them pastries. And she loved the little bedazzled Justice jacket. She used to dress like JoJo Siwa, if y'all know who that is. She used to dress like her. Simply Simone said, that is true. Law made a swan out of them Disney sequin vests. He sure did. He sure did. So Steph said he called himself an image architect, and he did that for her. 100. Absolutely. Donna D said, I wonder if Law had gotten to the seat on the front row before Zendaya did, if he would have sat there and told Zendaya that she could sit in the row behind him. I don't think so. I think he would have made people move, which is probably what he was expecting sweet Zendaya to do, but she's not going to do that. She is not going to do that. K Pratt was like, you are right about Law Roach's impact on Z being the girl. I doubt Z would have been taking the seat in the second row. No, you're not going to do that. Not to her. Not to one of the biggest movie stars out right now. Like, that's not going to happen. Emma said his ego is out of control. Sit down, sir. Enjoy the show. I'm sorry, but as a Black stylist, I'm glad that he did that. Nicole said, it's not like he stayed in the building and put up a fuss. He didn't have the seat he deserved for his level of industry, so he left. Good for him. I agree. Momi said, Nikki, please give an example of what a Zendaya back in the day. It was like, what's going on here, young lady? Joe said, at a fashion show, Law has earned his spot on the front row. He wasn't at the Oscars or the Emmys with her. He was in his arena. Thank you, Joe. This is what I'm saying. Like, Law is the star in this arena. Zendaya as well, but we're not going to act like he's not a star in his own right in this arena. Simply Simone said the people organizing the LV show was messy for not having a seat for Law. Yeah, it's absolutely on them. Asatu said, I completely agree with you. He knows his worth. I'm actually glad that he did that, guys. I'm glad that he made that scene. Louis Vuitton won't do that again. Zena said, hearing your perspective, I agree with you, Nikki, but I think Law doesn't get the benefit of this perspective because people see the character, sees the character that he plays on Legendary. I'm able to look beyond that because I know that he's giving a show. Like everybody has their role to play. Like he was the Simon of, that show. Like that was his role. And from what I know of him in this industry, I just never believed that character. I want to get two more, and then we're going to move on to our next subject. Momi said, this is why calling these celebs fashion icons is silly. Absolutely. Everything, like the celebrities that you love, their fashions, and you're just like, oh, she's eating it. He's eating it. Oh, I love what they put on. They're paying somebody to do that. You are looking at somebody else's work, right? Which is why I'm glad now that the stylists are, coming out and, being their own star in their own right, because they deserve the recognition. Because a lot of celebrities, a lot of public figures do not give them their flowers. And now they're having to come out and do it. Like a lot of people are noticing that Swanky from Young, Famous, and African, it has dressed like a lot of people in the US, right? A lot of American celebrities. But you probably didn't know that he's been dressing these people for years, but nobody's tagging him. Nobody's bringing him to the fashion shows. Nobody's putting his name out there. And you have to work thrice as hard when you are a Black person within any industry, right? So, with them not giving back to him and saying who you styled, like when we do the red carpet review, I always get frustrated when where we don't name the stylist nor the designer. Like, yes, we're looking at you because you're at this award show, but we would not be having a red carpet if we didn't want to know who styled you and who designed your garment. It's ridiculous to not know that, and it's ridiculous to not say that. It's like, I don't give a celebrity a pass when they're asked about what they're wearing, and they're just like, oh, I don't know. My stylist just gave it to me. Get off the red carpet. You should be prepared for this. So I'm glad that these stylists are coming out now and getting the respect they deserve. Momi also says, it takes a village to make them look the way they look. The celebs are just sitting back while getting their hair, faces, and bodies dressed. Absolutely. Joe said, quiet as it's kept, a lot of these actresses treat their gay stylists like accessories. They let us glam them up and we increase their profile. Then they want to act brand new. It happens. We're going to end with Michelle and then get into our next subject. Michelle said, had he threw a tantrum or asked the seating arrangement to be fixed, people would have found an issue with it. It's a good thing he decided to save his breath and leave. Yes, very classy on him. Okay, I'm coming. Emma S said, okay, I misunderstood the politics. Thanks for explaining, Nikki. No worries. No worries. That's why we're here. That's why we are here. Let's move on to our next subject, which is, let me bring it up. We got this one. We have, oh God. Before I get there, let's just talk about this. So Chaka Khan had to apologize for some very inflammatory words that she made. I'm going to first read the apology and then give you my perspective. This is from NME Music News. Chaka Khan apologizes for calling Rolling Stone editors children of Helen Keller. Yikes! Chaka Khan has apologized for hitting out at Rolling Stone's 200 Best Singers of All Time list, saying she is committed to empowering all artists. The U.S. funk and soul singer was ranked at number 29 on the viral list, which was published on January 1st, 2023. Topped by Aretha Franklin, the likes of Whitney Houston, Sam Cooke, Billie Holiday, and Mariah Carey rounded out the top 5. Khan, however, responded by calling the magazine editors blind biatches. They need hearing aids, she said on Andrew Goldman's original podcast. These must be the children of Helen Keller. The I Feel For You singer also criticized the artists who ranked above her, including Carey. That must be payola or some S like that, she jokingly suggested. As for Adele, ranking at 22, she quipped, "Okay, I quit." The singer has since explained her comments in an Instagram post, admitting that she took the bait. She says, "Recently, I was asked about a list of the greatest singers of all time, and instead of questioning the need for such a list, I was pitted against other artists, and I took the bait. As an artist, we are unfairly put into boxes, categories, or on lists. Being an artist or a musician is not a competition. It's a gift for which I am truly grateful. It was not my intention to cause pain or upset anyone. To anyone that felt this way, I sincerely apologize. Thank you all for the love that everyone has shown me unconditionally. I have always been about empowering others, and I started a foundation for that very purpose. I will be announcing soon. Empowering all artists, most importantly, because we truly are the architects of change, and change begins within the heart. I love you all, and God bless you. Chaka." All right, Star fam. What do you all think? I will say this, I'm glad she apologized. When I saw that, I was just like, this was not a good look, but I absolutely understand her frustration. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and downplay and say that those artists, that those lists don't mean, that like does not mean anything to the music industry. They do, right? But they're petty and they're created by people who have no business talking about the music industry, right? It's absolutely used to pit artists against the other artists. But because people who are not in the industry but are fans of music listen to these lists, right? Take on these recommendations, that those lists mean financial gain for the artist if they happen to make it to the top, right? So Chaka, after all the work that she has put into this industry, feeling slighted, I absolutely understand. But unfortunately, these lists mean something. And although they shouldn't hold any power, they do. So I understand her absolutely feeling slighted, because say what you want about her. High, sober, angry, mad, pissed off, she can sing. The voice is just powerful. I know we all saw that viral clip of Chaka Khan, Gladys Knight, and I believe Dionne Warwick, and they were all singing. I don't know what show they were on, but it was back in the 70s. Chaka Khan could not stand up. She was so high. She was shaking. She was falling off. Gladys Knight and Dionne Warwick were holding her up, but she hit every note. Like every note went right through your soul. I was like, well, she got that natural talent. Her and Marvin Gaye, baby, they didn't need much. She hit those notes. So I absolutely understand somebody as seasoned as she is and somebody as talented as she is feeling slighted by those lists that will produce monetary gain for those who make it to the top. And I absolutely understood her comment about being, this looks like payola, because in a sense it is, right? But the Helen Keller comments and the coming at other artists, it was messy. And that man was absolutely baiting you for his show. So I'm glad that she apologized. And I think her being the legend that she is, it's not going to be so, she's not going to get dragged as much as somebody a bit newer would probably get dragged. But she's right. I understand her anger, but I'm glad that she realized her position in this industry and the contributions that she made to music and decided to get it right, because it just was not a good look for her. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Oh, Drewski has a comment about Law Roach. He said Law was literally honored for his work as a stylist. He deserved a seat right next to her. I just hope it wasn't a thing between them that Zendaya stayed, maybe. I don't think so. I hope not. Sippy Simone said Law made the playbook for stylists today. Give him a damn seat in the front. You are right. You are right. Miss Brown Sugar said, okay, y'all putting me on today. Didn't know about Debra Lee's books or the politics of fashion runways. Keep it coming. You're welcome. Joe said, would Zendaya be invited to sit front row if it weren't for Law? Give them stylists their respect. Give them their flowers. Give them their flowers. Well, you can't watch it. It was canceled and removed from HBO Max. But it was a great show. I loved it. I loved it. Juicy. Juicy. I love the House of Juicy Couture. Love Like You Are said, because when you see these celebs in public in their clothing of choice, you can see why they need the stylist. Period. JG said exactly. And this is why Little Kim and Mary need to be honored at the CDFA. So Misa, I think that's her name, how you pronounce it. Misa or Missa? Oh, no, it's Missa. Missa. That's Puffy's first wife or first baby mom, I think, can get her flowers. She's mother. Absolutely. Also, Khalees is probably the only fashion girl who truly styles from hair to clothes. Very, very true. Very, very true. Emma said, Nikki, you just educated me about this. Stylists, designers, fashions, not my lane. Oh, no worries. Listen, I had to learn a thing or two myself. Bria said, oh, Lord, Chaka. Momi said, Chaka is a mess, but I love her. Shy City legend. She's old school and real, but you can be that in this era, but you can't be that in this era. It's Natasha said, that's true. A fashion show will probably focus on inviting style makers, designers, and the likes. Those are the people that get your clothes put on the celebrities that everybody's looking at. You better respect them. So Steph said, she also said that Mary J sounded like she had been on crack. I know. Oh my gosh. Now, Chaka, I know you're not talking about nobody being on crack. Absolutely not. The elders should not talk, right? Unless it's behind closed doors. The elders is only kitchen table talk. That goes for you too, Miss Alice Walker. The elders, nope. Michelle said, oh my, Chaka, that was a lot. List our opinions. It's never that deep. Unfortunately, it is, because people pay attention to those lists. And that's how, people get new streams. And in this time of streaming, that's very important. JG said, but Chaka didn't lie about where she was listed on the list because her mic be on. The mic be on. High as a kite. Drunker than a skunk. Where you from, JG? But on key and singing down since before I was born. Very, very true. Very, very, very true. Lovey said, love Chaka, but she never has nice words for almost anyone. Go back and watch interviews. She is so spicy with her. Like me. I love her. Oh, yeah. My mom was like, oh, Chaka been like this. My mom was like, oh, that's Chaka. Chaka been like that. Y'all just found it out about her. Well, I'm glad that she apologized, because this was not a good look. This was not a good look. Absolutely. But unfortunately, they mean something. I'm going to get into Mr. Shalaki, get this super chat, and then we'll go on to our next and final subject. Thank you, Mr. Shalaki, for the super chat. Mr. Shalaki said, "Hi, Queen. The Chaka thing reminded me of when Patty was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy baited Patty LaBelle about Luther Vandross' sexuality. Aunt Chaka was hot. Yeah. That was messy. The aunties were fighting. Hell, thank you so much for the super chat, Mr. Shalaki. Let's end with our final subject. Let's pray for my girl. So Avril Lavigne, oh, Miss Skater Boy has come out as, you know, like there were rumors about this, right? But now she herself confirmed it, that, you know, her and TYGA are dating, right? And people are like, Nikki, why are you talking about this? Why is this important? Because let me tell you something. I'm afraid for my girl. I don't want Avril in this mess. I do not want Avril in this. You're too good for this, Avril. Go back to Canada and get you a nice Canadian rocker and live your best life. Please don't get involved with this nasty man. Please. He's nasty. He's messy. He just has so much going on. I just do not want that from you. And to you, TYGA, get away from her. Get a job. Leave her alone. Avril, you might be going through a little crisis or something. I get it. Don't stay here. Don't stay here. Please don't get caught up in this mess. Please do not get caught up in this mess. And I also wanted to share this this video because this is why Avril needs to stay out of this drama. It's a mess. And Avril, you're too good for this. You do not need to be in this mess. We don't know you for mess. We do not know you for mess. TYGA, whoever this is known for mess. You're better than this, girl. Wake up. Get out of this situation.
Let's begin. TYGA is now dating Avril Lavigne. Why is this a big deal? Let me show you. TYGA used to be with and has a baby with Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna used to be with and has a baby with Rob Kardashian. Rob Kardashian is half siblings with Kylie Jenner. Why does that matter? Kylie Jenner used to date TYGA. Kylie Jenner also has another half sibling named Brody Jenner, who we all know from the Hills, Laguna Beach, yada yada. Why is that a big deal? Brody Jenner and Avril Lavigne used to be in a very serious relationship, so serious that they actually went to Kim Kardashian's wedding together to Kris Humphries, who we don't like to talk about. Let's go back to TYGA for a second. TYGA used to be married to someone named Jordan Craig. You may not know who that is, but fun fact, Jordan Craig used to be with and has the first baby of third semester Thompson, also known as Tristan Thompson, who we also don't like to talk about. Tristan, as we know, used to be with Khloe and has two babies. Khloe is siblings with Kim, with Brody, with Kylie, and with Rob, and with Kourtney Kardashian, who's married to Travis Barker. Travis Barker is a musician, as we all know, and one of his proteges is someone named Mod Sun. Mod Sun used to be engaged to Avril Lavigne a few weeks ago, and Avril Lavigne is signed to Travis Barker's record label. There you have it, folks.
I want better for my sis. See, Avril, nobody was talking about you in this matter. Now you are all messed up in this Kardashian world. We thought that we got you out when you was messing with Brody. I was glad that you had that little stint. Every now and again, you got to get yourself under, you got to get up under something, you know, fine and dumb, right? So I understand. But this right here, mama, don't play. Mama, don't play with this. You too good for this. Get out of this situation, Avril. Get out now before you get caught up. Don't let him put a big, you know what, let me mind my business. But Avril, please. I'm telling you, I was devastated. I was devastated. I was like, oh no, these two are just at a fashion show. Then they started kissing. And I was like, no, girl, no. Where are your girlfriends? Where are your girl? I want better for her. That's what they call him. You don't know that, Missy? Word on the street is as soon as he gets you pregnant, that third trimester, he starts cheating. Openly. Because he's been cheating the whole time, but he openly cheats. Because he wants you to know that he don't want to be there no more. Avril, get out of this. I was like, no way. Because listen, when I saw it first on Twitter, and I was just like, people are just making a big deal. This is how fashion shows are. You take pictures with people. Then she started kissing this dude. And I said, absolutely not. What's going on? What happened? Weren't you just engaged at the Grammys? She had... Avril, we never knew you to be messy, girl. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed, Eva. What is happening? Not my good sis. Not Miss Skater Boy. Oh, goodness. I want better for her. Tracy said, listen, someone go get the dancehall queen Spice. That's what we need. We need Spice. Oh. Missy said, did y'all see the TikTok? Oh, yeah, I just showed it. That thing has 3 million views, and the comments are sending me because everybody's just like, absolutely not. Avril, don't do it. Like, everybody's warning her. And she's at the age where she's like hella fertile right now. Oh, Jesus, Lord. Oh, my God, Avril. You don't want this. Get out of this pyramid of craziness, this cycle of craziness that is attached to TYGA and them Kardashians. Please, sis, get out of this. Love Like You Are said Avril had a Canadian. Oh, the Nickelback guy. Then she got divorced. What's going on? That's what I think. I ain't want to say it, Jade. I think, it's about that time for her to have one. I think that's what's happening. When I saw that, I was like, absolutely not. This cannot be her community. This cannot be her community. I need her to do better. And you know who I blame? Travis. I blame Travis Barker for bringing this mess to her doorstep. I feel like if she was not signed to that label, she wouldn't be in this mess. Like, why doesn't that group of people just date other people? Y'all just keep on bringing everybody into this same cult. I don't know what necessarily what this cult is, but it's like an attention Black culture vulture cult. It's weird. It's something going on there, and I don't like it for her. I don't like it for her. She needs to. I want her to. I'm so upset for my girl. Miss Brown Sugar said, Auntie Chaka told Mary J. Blige about herself to her face. She told her Mary should have woke up earlier before recording. She's a menace. And I didn't know until my mom. My mom was like, oh, Shaka's been a mess. Like, she's always talked like that. Bombshell Blur said, whoa, it's a lot going on. NYEF said, but Nikki, word on the street is that Miss Avril isn't as innocent as she seems. She was allegedly engaged when the news broke. Oh, well, I know that circle of madness said that she had just broken up with him. Missy B, thank you for the cash app. Missy B said, for giving Avril too much credit. She loves the mess. Oh my gosh. So y'all think that Avril want to be involved in this mess? Not the skater boy. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Some people said, get Spice in the studio. Everybody was asking for her to do that, though. Tracy said, yes, someone called Spice. We need an update on the song. Hey, Kimberly. Kimberly said, Avril has Lyme disease. She doesn't need it. Y'all. Simply Simone said, I thought it was a rumor too until the news that her and that Beyonce broke up and her and TYGA, whatever his name is, were at dinner. It was the kissing for me. I was fighting for that woman in them comment sections. Then the kissing, and I was like, you kissing TYGA? Ah! What is happening? We got to put a prayer circle around Brandy because I feel like all of the millennial, like child stars and singers of, the 90s and the early 2000s, something happening with y'all. Something is going on. We got to get a prayer circle around Brandy's stat. We got to keep her sane. Kayla said, I knew the Kardashians were weird when they let TYGA groom Kylie. Now the family tree is giving British monarchy. The Optics said yes. Why she had to go and make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you. Girl, you're too talented. I expect somebody who's not talented to be involved in this mess. Not you. You don't need this kind of attention. Hey, Michelle. Michelle said, like we all say, if she like it, period. That's how we close out. If she like it, I love it. Because I can't be wishing better for somebody who don't want better. There you go, Michelle. There you go. Hey, Mrs. Shalaka. Thank you for the super chat. Said, hey, Avril, you in danger, girl. This is the thing. That's why I don't want her to be a part of this, because I just do not see this going well for her. I just don't. I don't see it going well for her. And I feel like it's another Larsa and Jordan Jr. situation, right? Because wasn't nobody talking about TYGA. And now everybody talking about him because he's all up in Avril Lavigne's guts. I got to get a prayer circle around Brandy. Lord. She probably going to come out dating Howard the damn duck. Cameron Knight said the Kardashian-Jenner clan is already working overtime because if you haven't heard, Anna Wintour has What happened? Anna going rogue? Oh! What's going on? Let me do some research on that, Cameron. And if you have anything about that, send it to my Instagram. What? Oh! Maybe it's because of Kanye. Child. Drewski said it again is worth noting that she was with Brody for years, but they were like kids when that happened. It would be a lot for her to potentially get pregnant by her ex-boyfriend. See what I'm saying? This is messy, Avril. This is messy. Kimberly said, Nikki, nobody's buying her music, but everyone knows. Oh, I hope this isn't what she's doing. You know what? But if it's a PR stunt, let it be. Let it be. Don't let them shoot up the club. So Seth said, Brandy already been through it. She's my age, 44. She was having hella arguments and breakdowns on social media a few years back. Yeah, but it's like that she got it in. She got in her mess way before social media was like this huge. Tracy said, Nikki, Tamika from SWV is speaking out. Oh, God. I hate that show is about to be the best thing on TV. The best thing on TV. What's the new? You know what? It's too much going on. DM me. Kimberly said maybe this is just a spicy collab to get people talking about her and his music to make them relevant. I hope so. If that's the case, I would rather that than this being a real thing. I'm not streaming that song if he's on it. Y'all got to do your research. When you ladies pick these male performers to perform a song with, you got to do your research on who this person actually is. Because, sorry, Chloe, I love you. I love you and your sister. I'm not listening to that song with that man. It's not happening. So Steph said Anna Wintour only invited Kim K to the Met. True. That's very, very true. Love Like You Are said Anna said she wanted class at the Met. So influencers are... Child, they will let you know their place with the quickness. They will let you know your place with the quickness. Oh, no tickety talkers. Child. Oh, you know what? We might have another pop culture news about that, baby, because that tea is hot. Anyway, fam, I got to get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining me for my first Pop Culture Live. I'm going to continue to do this. I just want to keep it light and fun. But if you guys have anything that you want me to talk about, make sure you hit me up on Instagram at NikkiNicoleStar. Send me all the things that you would like for me to talk about. Like I said before, I'm going to keep it light. We're not going to go into any dark stuff. That's why I removed Alice Walker, because her comments just got darker and darker. And I was just like, yeah, we're going to keep this light over here. Chaka Khan wasn't so light, but you know, that's probably as dark as we will ever go. But send me some stuff if you want to talk about it. And if I have the time, we will absolutely discuss it. So thank you all for joining me for the first Pop Culture Live. I think what I want to do going forward is, because you guys have so much information in the chat, if you ever want to call in, let me know. I'll share the link and we'll do it that way. So I don't have to keep on looking at the comments so much. And we'll make it interactive. Why not? You guys know more than I do. I just found out about the Met Gala. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. Tracy said, shout out to the Nikki.Star replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Thank you so much, Star fam. Love you. See you soon for something else. Bye. Mwah. I can't believe Anna.